Before the right person appears, your energy must become the place where love feels safe to land. Magnetic marriage doesn't begin with who you want. It begins with who you are when no one is watching. Your frequency builds the marriage long before the partner ever arrives. There is a truth about marriage that most people overlook. You don't attract the right person by longing for them. You attract them by becoming the vibration that matches the experience you desire. So many people spend years searching for the perfect partner, praying for the perfect union, and waiting for someone to come and complete the emptiness inside them. But marriage, the kind that is magnetic, stable, spiritual, and destiny-driven, is born first within you. It starts with your energy, your self-belief, your inner alignment. You do not attract a fulfilling marriage by wanting the right person. You attract it by living in the frequency that calls them in naturally. You must understand this deeply. Love does not answer desperation. It answers alignment. The universe does not respond to longing. It responds to embodiment. When you vibrate from lack, fear, or worry, you send out a frequency that repels the very thing you are asking for. But when you rise into the state of someone who already holds the love they desire, life rearranges itself to match your inner world. The magnetic marriage you dream of begins with the energy you choose to inhabit every single day. You are not waiting for someone to bring love to you. You are learning to become the energy that love wants to enter. Think for a moment about how many people chase relationships, hoping to feel secure. They go from person to person, trying to find the one who understands them, supports them, validates them, and chooses them. But when you live in a frequency of needing someone to save you emotionally, you never attract someone who truly can. You attract mirrors, people who reflect the insecurity you carry. They come in inconsistent, unavailable, confused, or ungrounded, because that is the broadcast you are sending out. Marriage becomes magnetic only when you raise your frequency from needing love to being love. The energy you live in is the blueprint your marriage will build itself upon. If your energy is restless, your relationships will be unstable. If your energy is fearful, your connections will feel uncertain. If your energy is doubtful, your partner will reflect that doubt back to you. But the moment you elevate your inner state, your emotional tone, your mental atmosphere, your spiritual self-concept, you begin to send out a signal that only the right person can hear. They feel you before they meet you. They sense you before they know you. Because energy communicates across distance, across time, and across silence. Too many people put all their focus on the person they want instead of the frequency they live in. They make endless lists of what they want in a spouse: loyalty, respect, consistency, honesty, emotional strength, spiritual depth. But they rarely ask the far more powerful question: am I the energetic match for the love I seek? If you want loyalty, do you live in the frequency of emotional security? If you want honesty, do you live in the frequency of self-truth? If you want consistency, do you live in the frequency of stability within yourself? The marriage you desire is not attracted to the version of you who is broken, fearful, or chasing. It is attracted to the version of you who has healed, aligned, and risen into inner wholeness. Magnetic marriage does not come to the version of you who doubts your worth. It comes to the version of you who knows, deeply, quietly, unshakably, that you deserve a love that mirrors your truth. This kind of love is drawn to consciousness, to emotional maturity, to inner peace, to spiritual clarity. When you vibrate at this level, you stop attracting temporary people. You stop attracting partners who depend on your wounds. You stop attracting relationships that drain you. Instead, you draw in someone who resonates with your elevated state, someone who values depth, steadiness, wisdom, and emotional freedom. Because the frequency you live in is the magnet that determines the quality of your marriage. When you shift your energy, you shift your entire romantic destiny. This is why inner healing matters so much. Healing isn't just about letting go of the past. It's about clearing the old heavy signals that kept attracting the wrong experiences. When you heal, you stop vibrating with the frequency of abandonment, betrayal, and rejection. You stop calling in people who feed off your insecurities. You stop repeating old cycles that once felt familiar. Instead, your energy becomes light, open, unburdened, and powerful. A healed frequency sends a message to the universe, I am available for love that honors me. And the moment you send that signal, the universe responds. Life begins to align. The right person begins to feel pulled toward you. Not because you chased them, not because you convinced them, not because you begged for their love, but because you became the energy they were destined to find. That is the power of frequency. It does the attracting for you. It does the speaking for you. It does the choosing for you. The magnetic marriage you desire appears when you live as if love is already within you, not something you are trying to earn. When you operate from the frequency of wholeness, your presence becomes magnetic. People feel the difference in you. They feel the calmness in your spirit, the quiet confidence in your tone, the stability in your emotions. You no longer need someone to choose you. You know you are already chosen in the spirit. You no longer fear being abandoned. You know nothing meant for you can leave. You no longer fear being misunderstood. You know the right person will understand without you forcing them. This inner shift changes everything. When you live in a higher frequency, you stop giving attention to relationships that do not match your value. You stop entertaining options that insult your intelligence. You stop lowering your standards. You stop tolerating confusion. Your energy becomes too expensive for anything that drains your soul. And this is exactly when the right partner appears, because the noise of unaligned people clears out of your life, making space for the one who matches your evolved vibration. Magnetic marriage does not come from focusing on the person you want. It comes from becoming the person who easily attracts the love you want. You create the marriage internally before it appears externally. You build the atmosphere of love inside your heart, and the universe sends someone who can breathe in that atmosphere. You create a frequency of emotional safety, and the right person feels drawn to its peace. You embody a frequency of devotion, and the right person finds themselves wanting to commit. You live in a frequency of respect, and the right person shows up ready to match your standard. Frequency creates the container in which marriage can thrive. This is why inner alignment is the real preparation for marriage. Not appearance, not effort, not strategies, not trying to impress someone, but energy. Energy does what words cannot. Energy attracts what effort cannot. Energy reveals what time cannot hide. When you elevate your frequency, the person you were waiting for begins to move in your direction. Not because you are hoping, but because you are aligned. So instead of asking, where is my person? Start asking, what frequency am I living in today? Instead of asking, why hasn't set love found me? Ask, what energy am I broadcasting to the universe? Instead of seeking the person you want, become the frequency that your true partner cannot ignore. The truth is simple. Your marriage begins long before the wedding. Your marriage begins long before the proposal. Your marriage begins long before the relationship. Your marriage begins in the energy you live in. When your frequency matches the marriage you desire, the right person arrives with ease, certainty, and divine timing. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to convince them. You don't need to worry, because the universe will always deliver what you are aligned with. When you become the vibration of love, love becomes the vibration of your life. Raise your frequency, heal your energy, live in the vibration of someone who already holds the marriage they desire, and watch how effortlessly the right person steps into your world. Not because you wanted them, but because you became the energy that called them home. Magnetic marriage appears when your frequency rises above longing and becomes the vibration of someone already loved. Because longing sends out a signal of absence, while inner certainty sends out a signal of presence. When you carry the energy of someone who already holds love within, you stop grasping and start attracting. People can feel when you are emotionally full, and that fullness becomes magnetic. It tells the universe you are ready, steady, and aligned with a higher form of partnership. Your energy begins to shine with quiet confidence, not fear. You no longer hope for love to come, you expect it. You no longer beg for connection, you embody it. This shift changes the way you walk, speak, and respond. And before you realize it, the love you used to chase begins chasing you, because your frequency is finally the home where that love belongs. You attract the right partner, not by desiring them, but by becoming the emotional atmosphere their soul feels safe in. Because people are drawn to energies that soothe, not energies that demand. When your inner world becomes peaceful, stable, and grounded, you naturally create a space others want to enter. You stop sending signals of fear or emotional chaos, and instead you begin radiating clarity and calmness. The right person senses this before they ever know your story. They feel your steadiness like a warm field around you. They trust your presence without needing proof. Emotional safety is not spoken. It is felt in your tone, your silence, your posture, your energy. And when someone meets you and feels safer with you than anywhere else, attraction becomes destiny, not effort. The universe responds not to the person you want, but to the energy you embody every day. Because life mirrors your frequency, not your fantasies. You may visualize love, pray for love, or imagine marriage. But if your energy broadcasts fear, doubt, or lack, the universe must echo that back. But when you begin to live as the version of yourself who already has what you desire, the world shifts to match your inner identity. Your thoughts align with confidence, your emotions align with certainty, and your actions align with self-respect. This sends a powerful signal outward. Instead of asking life to bring you someone, you become a match for someone. And the universe always delivers what resonates with the frequency you consistently embody. When you stop vibrating from wounds, you stop attracting partners who feed on them. Because unhealed energy pulls in people who reflect your pain rather than your potential. The patterns you repeat in relationships are not coincidences. They are energetic cycles. If you carry abandonment inside, you attract the unavailable. If you carry unworthiness inside, you attract the unappreciative. But the moment you heal the emotional injuries within you, the vibration that once called in the wrong people disappears. You no longer tolerate the familiar trauma. You no longer feel comforted by chaos. You no longer mistake intensity for intimacy. Instead, you attract people who honor your healing, respect your growth, and align with your new emotional frequency. Healing doesn't just change you, it changes who shows up in your life. Your marriage destiny shifts the moment you shift your inner state from neediness to alignment. Because neediness pushes love away, while alignment pulls it toward you. Neediness whispers, I need someone to complete me, while alignment declares, I am whole, and I attract someone equally whole. This energy difference is profound. Need creates urgency and pressure, which others can feel instantly. Alignment creates flow and ease, which others find irresistible. When you live in emotional alignment, you stop trying to force outcomes. You stop obsessing about timing. You stop fearing loss. And the universe responds by sending someone who matches your steady energy. Alignment replaces anxiety with assurance, and that assurance becomes the foundation of a magnetic marriage. The person meant for you feels your energy before they ever understand your words. Because connection begins in vibration, not communication. Your tone, your aura, your emotional presence, all of it speaks long before your mouth does. Someone aligned with your destiny feels your calmness, your sincerity, your strength, and your spiritual depth. They sense your authenticity through your silence. They feel your emotional maturity through your energy. Words may introduce you, but your frequency forms the bond. When your energy is clear and grounded, it pulls in someone who resonates with that clarity. They are not drawn to your appearance alone. They are drawn to your inner world, and without trying, your energy tells them everything they need to know about who you are. Love shows up easily when your frequency no longer mirrors fear, doubt, or desperation, because those vibrations block the very experiences you seek. Fear makes you cling, doubt makes you question everything, and desperation makes you chase what is not aligned. But when you release these low states, love flows toward you naturally. You begin to trust yourself more. You begin to trust timing more. You begin to trust that what is meant for you cannot be taken from you. This trust raises your frequency instantly. You become lighter, more radiant, more confident. And love recognizes this new version of you. The path that once felt blocked opens effortlessly. The person who once felt distant feels drawn toward you. Because when fear leaves your energy, love has room to enter. The version of you who attracts a magnetic marriage is built through healing, not chasing. because chasing is a symptom of emptiness, while healing is the path to fullness. When you heal, you learn to hold yourself emotionally. You learn to validate your own feelings. You learn to stay calm within yourself instead of looking to others for stability. This creates a powerful transformation. You stop investing in people who drain you. You stop falling for temporary connections. You stop repeating old patterns. Healing upgrades your frequency, and that upgraded frequency pulls in a partner who matches your level of emotional evolution. You attract someone who values loyalty because you healed betrayal. You attract someone who offers consistency because you healed instability. Healing creates the version of you that destiny has been waiting for, and from that version, magnetic marriage becomes inevitable.